about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up, and throughout the world today.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. I am late, and it's totally my fault. The stuff didn't have anything to do with it. It wasn't the equipment. It was totally me. All right, E-Black. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. And you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad. If you're not able to sit and watch it right now, you can listen no matter what you're doing, laying up at a beach or whatever. You can listen on your iPhone. You can podcast, of course, but you could be listening while you're doing what you're doing live by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500. On social media, follow, like, ring the bell, and do all those things. We are on cozy.tv/JLP, 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 and JLP Talk on X. I'm not going to get to cozy. JLP Talk on X, all right? And to donate and have your comments read out loud, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, and rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com. My biblical question for this week: what ties you to your parents? What ties you to your parents? That is an amazing question. What ties you to your parents? It's Tuesday. And for those who have been listening for a while, they know. But the new listener might not know. Every Tuesday is... You not ready? Oh, okay. I got to wait for a minute. I was late, now he late. And he black. Amazing. Any day now, I will hear you say, goodbye, my love, and I'll be on my way. Feel so blue. Well, will fall. Well, it is country western Tuesday, whether we get the opening or not. All right, I got to move on. Hee-haw. So there is a thought-provoking quote that I have not heard yet. And my producer was telling me about it this morning in the meeting. And he says that he would like for Hake and I to, have you heard this yet?
I have not.
You have not. He would like for Hake and I to comment on it. And so neither one of us have heard it.
I think it's Hake and me.
You and Hake?
No, it's he would like for Hake and me to comment on it.
You and who?
You and me to comment on it.
Right, that's what I said.
No, Hake, you said he would like I to comment on it. It sounds more correct to say he would like me to comment on it.
I said Hake and I.
No, you said I. You should have said me. Anyway.
Hake and me?
Yeah.
Hake and me?
Uh-huh.
That's all right.
It is right.
Not.
Yes, it is.
Okay, you white. Okay, what's the quote?
Hold on.
We don't have the quote. What's going on over there?
Everything in moderation, including moderation. Oscar Wilde.
Wow.
This is from AZ Quotes. Everything in moderation, including moderation.
Nice.
Amazing. And you say?
Sounds like a liberal.
I didn't see the picture up there, though.
Hold on, just keep talking about it.
What?
Just keep talking about it. We'll get it up. Hold on.
Oh. Y'all not ready over there yet?
Yeah, it's complicated business.
What's going on here?
Huh?
Something's going on here.
Something going on over there at the control desk.
I like the quote, though, kind of.
Everything in moderation, even moderation.
Right.
And why you like it?
Because there's a time to go overboard.
There is a time.
Yeah. There's a time to put in like a lot of work
Well,
sometimes.
even in the Bible, it says do everything in moderation.
But it also says there's a time for everything.
Sean, my producer, said that's the motto for his life.
The motto for his life is everything in moderation,
Yeah, even moderation.
including moderation.
That explains a lot.
Indeed, it does.
Flat Earth.
I know. What the? So even in the Bible, it said do all things in moderation, something like that.
Right. So if you're moderate about being moderate, then you're sometimes not moderate, right?
Right.
But even when you're going a little bit wild, you're moderate about going wild.
To be fair, this guy's last name is Wild.
Right, with an E at the end, I think.
Amazing. I understand moderation because I noticed that when you do it in moderation, you don't overdo anything. Like when you eat, if you eat in moderation, you don't have to worry about becoming overweight, fat, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or if you work out and you do it in moderation, you don't have to worry about destroying your body working out.
Yeah,
You know,
getting
like-
injured and stuff.
Right. If you, whatever you do, you get your rest in moderation, you don't have to worry about being tired or not being tired because so moderation makes sense.
Yep.
But it's hard for most people to operate in moderation because you forget about moderation. You know what I
True.
mean?
Yeah.
Like a workaholic
Yep.
is not going to work in moderation.
Yeah.
Are you a workaholic?
No.
Are you a workaholic?
Nope.
Are you a workaholic?
No siree.
You work in moderation?
I didn't say that. I'm a beachaholic.
A what?
A beachaholic.
What the?
You a beeholic?
Beachaholic. I go to the beach. I
Oh,
like to go to the beach.
and why?
It's just my kick lately.
Well, isn't it too risky?
No, that's the least risky.
The beach?
place to be. Yeah.
What? Don't they have like a lot of homeless drug addicts and things?
I stay away from those beaches.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So moderation is the way to go
Nice.
in all things. He's
How
right about that.
What about if you're
Even-
moderate about being moderate?
Moderate about being moderate. It sounds good, but I don't know what it means.
I think that it means sometimes you go a little extreme.
What? What do you mean by that?
He's a cancer. Hake.
Oh, he had. Oh,
I don't know if he means that I'm a cancer to society or if he knows
he
something
said
about
cancer is like the beach,
Oh,
meaning that you're a cancer to the beach.
nice. Oh, because the cancers. He's
You're
talking.
like a sore thumb at the beach.
So Joel Friday believes in astrology.
Oh, that's what you're talking about? I
Yeah.
thought he was a Christian. You be like,
But cancer is a water sign, and it's also a crab,
Oh.
right? Isn't it like a crab? So I like walk sideways on the beach.
you do?
I walk on the beach. I don't know about sideways. Nice.
A water sign, he says.
Sweet.
Cancer are also moody.
Indeed.
That's hate. Especially when he's working. Amazing. So yeah, moderation is the way to go.
And I disavow astrology.
Yeah. I never think of that anymore.
Did you used to?
Because people always mention it, especially if I say my birthday.
Yeah.
They say, oh, you're a Gemini.
All my unchristian friends know this stuff.
Yeah.
I was raised Christian. I never knew any of it.
I didn't know anyone else's sign. I just knew what people said about mine.
Right.
Because they were
And this
always,
is well after you got off the plantation.
yeah,
Yeah.
because they always remind me that I was a Gemini.
Oh, okay.
Joel said, Geminis are all psychos.
Okay.
Isn't Trump a Gemini?
Yeah.
June. He was
Yeah.
born on Flag Day.
He's a Gemini. No wonder he's so smart.
June 14th. Right?
Yeah, he's a Gemini then. Because Gemini is May 21st, I think, something like that, to June 21st.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All the best people.
See there? A Gemini. I rest my case. Egg in your face, Joel. So, yeah, moderation is good. I highly recommend it. And you get to moderate, whatever that means. Moderate. Amazing. 888. Thank you, Hake.
Yeah, thank you.
888-7753-773. You might not be aware of this either, Hake. According to the Epic Times,
Yes.
Epic.
Yep.
There's always been an issue with Epic because some people call it EPOP,
Right.
but because it's EPOCH.
Mm-hmm.
Epic Time, fewer teenagers are going outside or reading books, while their time on social media is dramatically surging. Rebellious behavior and anxiety disorders are becoming more common among children. Adults at risk of severe internet addictions were 13 times more likely to have both depression and anxiety. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Because most, not all, many, most, I don't know how many people my age and whatever, but they keep their face in the internet. They're walking down the road, they're looking at their phone. They're riding cars when you drive by, you see the driver and the passenger on the phone, looking at their cell phone. You at the gym, they'll be on the weights and things, and they'll do like 10 around, and then they'll relax, but they're on the phone. And they'll sit there, hold up the weights on the phone.
Wow.
They'll just sit there. I'm like, excuse me. And so it's causing anxiety and depression. Why is that?
Because you're supposed to live, not be engrossed in this artificial world.
Yeah, look like, I mean, one thing I know for sure, you have to work at being conscious all the time to stay present, right? And so when you're on the internet like that, and on the phone all day, and then at night, even in the bed, you're swerving through your phone, and you get, let's say you get into bed like 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9, and you get on your phone, you look up, it's midnight. You're
Yeah.
like, what the?
Yeah, you blow a lot of time.
Yeah. And so I know that the problem, that can create unconsciousness.
For sure.
And in a state of unconsciousness, you're in trouble.
And then life passes you by, and then you get into regret. Once you become conscious, you fall back into unconsciousness because you're regretting all that time that passed.
Yeah.
You just blew a day on nothing.
Just wasting your time.
Yep.
Amazing.
Terrible. Poor kids.
But I blame the parents. There is some talk about banning the kids from having their phones in the classroom. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because why do kids need phones in the classroom?
They don't need phones at all.
Right. Leave the phones at home. You're right. You don't even need them at all. But leave them at home. And the parents, especially the mothers, they give these children cell phones because they're like, oh, I'm afraid something will happen to them. I want to communicate with them all day because they have fear.
Yeah.
But they end up causing their children to become addicted to the phone.
Yeah.
You can blame the parent for that because they don't have to buy those phones.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
And if your kid needs to reach you, everybody else, all the other kids have phones, so you just
Right.
let the other kids borrow it.
Or go down to the principal office and make the phone.
Right.
Use the principal office phone.
Since they've gotten rid of the pay phones. Yeah.
Oh, a mess. Mm-hmm. So it's the parents' fault. They don't feel like being bothered with their own children anyway because they don't love their children. So they buy them phones so the phone can distract them so that the parents don't have to be bothered with it.
What a mess.
No love. No love. Amazing. One other thing I want you to comment on, then I want to do some super chats and all that, take some calls.
Okay.
They don't want, in America today, especially the government and the media, they don't even want you thinking for yourself. They don't want you researching information. They don't want you to do anything. They just want you to take their word at it. And they're like outright telling you that. Just believe what we say, they say. Don't do any research. Don't think for yourself. Just whatever we tell you to do, that's what you should do. That's what happened to the blacks 70 years ago when they believed the so-called civil rights leader. They stopped thinking for themselves. And they just believed whatever Jackson and Shopton and that wicked witch of the West with the low IQ.
Maxine Waters.
They stopped thinking for themselves. And look what happened. Well, here are 3 articles that says, no, stop thinking for yourself and just take whatever we tell you. Do no research. Don't go online. Don't read the paper. Don't ask. Just whatever we tell you, that's what you should do. The nerve of these people. And they do it without biting their tongue. Watch this.
Doing your own research is a good way to end up being wrong.
And there's something. Who is that from?
The analysts by
From the Washington.
Analysis
by Philip Bump,
in the Washington Compost.
From the Washington Post.
not Big Bump.
Doing your own research is a good way to end up being wrong. So don't do your own research. They'll do it for you. And then you can't go wrong. You just go Democrat. Amazing. And the other one?
Don't go down.
From the New York Times opinion.
Don't go down the rabbit hole. Critical thinking, as we're taught to do it, isn't helping in the fight against misinformation.
Amazing.
Who's we?
I know.
Who's we? We're taught to do critical thinking.
These people are afraid because Donald Trump is winning, and they don't want people to do the research. They don't want them to know that Biden is a loser.
Yeah.
The Democratic Party is against us. And so they don't want you to think for yourself. And then some blacks are starting to wake up, especially about the Democratic Party. And the blacks are starting to wake up, and they don't like that at all. Like, the blacks are thinking for themselves. What the? Amazing. Okay, the next one.
From Motherboard, Tech by Vice, scientists explain why doing your own research leads to believing conspiracies. Researchers found that people searching misinformation online risk falling into data voids that increase belief in conspiracies.
Wow, these people are working overtime trying to control you.
So that's Vice. The failing New York Slimes, far left extremist Vice. The failing New York Slimes and the Washington Compost pushing this out.
They're literally telling you that. Stop thinking.
They're
Don't-
acting like there's no such thing as any conspiracy. The heck?
I know. And this is a conspiracy telling you to stop researching and stop thinking for yourself.
You know, they talked about critical thinking.
Right.
I did have a class called like critical thinking or something, I think, in college.
Right.
And the textbook was filled with just cherry-picked examples from Rush Limbaugh.
Really?
Limbaugh. Yep. Where
Amazing.
he would say such and such, and they said, "Well, actually, this is a straw man, or this is a different argument. There's such and such different fallacies that they taught us." But the best so-called critical thinking, if you want to call it that, was the training that you push. That don't believe it just because people say it. You don't know if you weren't there.
That's
You
right.
don't. You just say, according to CNN or according to the New York Times or according to Fox News or whatever. You cite the person who said it.
Right. You're not supposed to believe it just because the preacher or anyone said it. Look at the Christians today. They believe these wild things about Jesus and God and all that, and all the words they make up because the preacher said. And they're just words, but the Christians just take them on and think they know what they mean, and they don't. Because they don't seek for themselves to know. They just take the preacher at his word.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's no such thing as critical thinking.
What does it mean?
Nothing. How you going to critically think? Like, I'm critically thinking.
I think you're supposed to know that you don't necessarily know.
Right. You don't need to do no such thing as critical thinking. Right.
Yeah.
No such thing as critical thinking.
Because all three of those outlets push the racism lie.
Yeah.
They push the gay agenda.
I can't believe they're telling you don't even think for yourself now. Don't do the research. Don't look. Just let us tell you.
Yeah.
And who are they? Are they doing research?
Ruled by experts. And you saw what they did to the country and the economy with the shutdowns in the name of the virus.
Yeah.
That was not sensible leadership.
Here's one guy, he black, that is scared running. He's running afraid right now because the blacks are starting to think for themselves. And according to some of the polls, and people are saying that a lot of the blacks are going to vote for Donald Trump, and that they're starting to think for themselves. They see that Biden has done nothing for them. Whenever the blacks say that the Democratic Party is not doing anything for them, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
And so they want to vote for somebody that's going to do something for them. I don't know what that means.
I don't know any other group that's as selfish as that.
Right.
And I don't, you're right, I don't know what it means either.
But they always say, well, what are you going to do for the blacks?
When whites talk, they were like, care about the country,
Right.
law and order, sensible stuff, right and wrong. But then the blacks, it's about, what they did for us.
What's they going to, Barack Obama, they really got mad at Barack Obama because they thought Barack Obama was going to do a lot for them.
Right.
And he didn't do anything for them. They're like, what the? So I don't know what the blacks mean when they say, what are you going to do for us? And you're right, they're the only group that says that.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that's spreading now. Other races are catching on with that selfish.
Oh, they're starting to say what you're going to do for the Mexicans.
I feel like that's it's becoming something that other people are trying to adopt. Like I even hear like some of the white nationalists are like, he's not a pro-white president. They said that about Trump.
Oh, you becoming like what you hate.
Yeah.
Because these people are fed up with the blacks' mess, and so now they're angry about it, and they're becoming like what they hate.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But here's one guy that is real scared. And he is afraid that the blacks are about to leave the Democrats. This is from NY1. South Carolina Democratic Representative Jim Clyburn expressed doubt about where the Democrats and the Biden campaign were cutting through the MAGA influence. Watch this from NBC.
Assistant Democratic leader and one of the national co-chairs of the Biden re-election campaign. You told one of our colleagues that you're confident that black voters are going to turn out in force for President Biden. But on this most recent Sunday, you said that you're, quote, very concerned about black voters showing up for the president.
My concern is much more with black voters getting the right information, getting all of the information so that they will be informed voters. That's my concern. I believe very strongly that this president has done what is necessary to earn the support of African Americans all over this country.
They get the raw information. They may be doing research.
All of a sudden, he's concerned about that.
Right. He's scared, like they're losing the black votes from the Democrats. But don't worry, Clyburn. They're bringing in illegal aliens, and they're giving them free stuff, so y'all still going to have some voters. I'm not sure. I know some blacks are complaining about it, but I'm not sure that many blacks are going to be leaving the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
A few maybe, but I don't think that many are going to be leaving.
And most of them are still into the black thing.
And right. And I don't know if the Republican Party has started giving the blacks anything yet, because they want something.
They're just kissing up.
Yeah.
The Republican Party.
They really are. They are licking boots. I got to take a quick break. When I come back, your phone calls and super chats. And we got to finish up on those super chats from yesterday.
That's right.
I know you reminded me, and we had started already, but we'll do that when I come back.
Okay.
Let me take a quick break. 888-7753-773. Quick break. Back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. and you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality. Amazing. The Hake Report coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. TheHakeReport.com from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 11 a.m., Joel Friday TV. Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. And at 12 noon, The American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby on fire. Natural energy. On loan from God. As Rush Limbaugh would say. At 12 noon today. Let's do super chats. And then we get to the phone calls.
Okay. Mike Young bought a coffee. I started to read it yesterday. He says, one last thing. It's very interesting how angry black callers call your show acting out like savages, but won't use the same energy to complain to Planned Parenthood, the black race hustlers for using them, and the black politicians who won't do nothing about black-on-black crime. And so at the end of the day, I understand that what you're saying, that some of the blacks are waking up, but the black community still has a long way to go. Thanks, Mike Young.
Thank you, Mike. Amazing.
Chalice bought 4 more Cash App donations saying thanks.
Thank you.
Jalen also, thank you.
Thank you, Jalen.
Adler says, the earth is flat, Jesse. You can't live on a ball.
Really?
That's what he says.
Even if the gravity is holding us down?
Even if.
If the gravity is holding us down?
Well, he didn't mention the gravity part, but he didn't qualify it. Unqualified, the earth is flat, you can't live on a ball.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Thank you. Even if gravity is holding us down?
And so he thinks that the earth is like this, I think, roughly.
But he doesn't know for
Except
sure.
without my fingerprints all over the firmament.
What is the firmament?
The firmament is the atmosphere.
Oh.
It's the dome.
But Jesus didn't call it a dome.
But Moses might have.
Moses called it a dome.
Maybe.
Where's Moses now?
In heaven with our Lord and Savior.
I rest my case. Thank you.
Yeah. So Callus bought a Cash App. That was a Courage the Cowardly Dog reference, LOL. Lots of laughs. Oh, that might be a reference to something else that he said or somebody said. Oh, yeah, I vaguely remember So Callus said something.
Yesterday.
Well, he also said, stupid dog, you made me look bad.
Okay, so, Callus, thank you. I have no idea, but thank you.
We're two of the worst people to tell that to. We don't know anything.
Really?
But I know that there is a Courage the Cowardly Dog. He's funny.
The only thing I know is who let the dogs out.
Alexandra donated a Cash App. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beta No More bought a coffee. 19 days! Double exclamation mark. My wife was mad at me for 19 days.
Whoa.
In the past, I would listen to my thoughts and try to fix it and make her happy. But this time, I took your advice. I didn't argue with the devil. I did the silent prayer daily and let her be in her hell. Trust me, my thoughts were working overtime.
Yeah.
But I stood strong, and by day 19, she came out of her hell. Amazing how much you can get done in 19 days without trying to cater to the devil. I truly believed she noticed the change in me. But that is also a thought. So for now, it's just me and my alpha male beef jerky. Amazing.
Amazing. That is deep. Never, ever, never, 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 ever. Never, 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 ever. But never, ever, ever, ever try to make a relationship work. You should not put any efforts at all in making any kind of relationship work. No kind. Either it works naturally or it doesn't. Really. It is abnormal. It is evil to try to make a relationship work. Right on, stay with it. Don't argue with your wife, or wife, don't argue with your husband. Don't argue with the devil. That brings nothing but destruction. Two devils arguing. Either the relationship works or it doesn't. You've been lied to. I was lied to. All people have been lied to when they say, oh, you're supposed to put effort in making a relationship work. You got to work at it. That's a lie. That is a big lie. The world has deceived us in ways that you never imagined. And everybody is miserable as a result. Your parents, your teachers, and everybody have deceived you. Do not put one iota of an effort into making it work. All right? And if the husband get mad or the wife get mad, let them be mad. That's their problem, not yours. You go on with your life. Don't ask them, oh, you mad? What's wrong? They're going to say nothing. Well, you look like something wrong. Ain't nothing wrong. Nothing. They just do that to get control over you. Because they think that you care, so they're pulling you in. Right on. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. Amazing.
Right on, Beta No More. So callous. I believe I asked this one, but just to make sure, this may have been rushed. What is a practical thought, if such a thing?
Practical thoughts are like, you got to go to work. You got to be there at 7. You got to, you want food. What do you want for dinner? You get what you want for dinner and make it, or whatever. You want a house. You want an apartment. Stuff like that. That's it.
And those are practical wants, too. I may have misread it. A practical want.
A practical need.
Okay.
People need food.
Yeah.
People need a shelter. People need this and that.
What about a practical want?
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
I have no idea what a practical want is. Unless...
Like you want a family?
I guess you could consider... What?
You want a family? That's not a need.
That's not practical either.
Oh, so that's not practical. Nice. You want pizza because you need food, but you don't need pizza.
Right. But you just
It's not very practical, huh?
You just want it because it feels good to the ego. That's not practical.
Whatever. So there might not be such a thing as a practical want.
It's a good question. I just don't know. I never heard of that.
That's that for yesterday's Super Chats. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
More
Appreciate
have come in for this morning, though.
Okay.
Kev Fisher bought a coffee. Good day, sir. Why did God make Adam before Eve?
Because he had nothing else to do.
Because he didn't want anyone to tell him how to do it.
Amazing. Thank you.
Also, being a 45-year-old black man, I don't participate in the deceptions that a lot of black Americans are under. Once you realize you have become accountable for your own actions, you have an ego death. God begins to clear your vision. I recently talked to one of my helpers about some of the simple concept I've learned from you. We ended up having a dialogue of 2 hours. I still hope to get you can get to Georgia in some capacity.
Georgia on my mind.
I've been tested a lot lately as I've pulled away and watched my thoughts, but I guess that's the devil trying to hold on. LOL, amazing.
I've been tried by the fire, and the flames get so hot that I can't see the sky for the smoke in my eyes.
Nice.
Stay with that. I hope to get to Georgia soon, too. Thank you.
And keep your coffees pithy. But thank you. Lunita bought a coffee. Jesse, we know you don't believe in racism, but do you believe in racial discrimination? Do you believe that exists? For example, not giving someone a job they're qualified for just because they're black. Do you think this is an acceptable practice? What up, Hake? Coffee emoji.
If someone doesn't give you a job just because you're black, that's not racism either. That's hatred. That's still evil. It's still spiritual. It's not physical. Amazing. Thank you.
WD41 gave a diamond, no message. Prep Ham Paul, thank you. Prep Ham Paul on Rumble. He's a subscriber. Okay, so scientists do their own research to find quote unquote truth. Tell everyone else if they do their own research, they'll not find truth? Right.
I know. What a mess.
5 coffees from Gen C. Good morning, JLP Universe. I would love to see the ladies of Bond, the ladies at Fellowship, to go on to that Race to Dinner show. I would totally contribute to that fund. It would be worth every cent seeing that older woman on the show's head spin.
I would love to see something like that, too. And see how much this black woman and that other woman think the three of them trying to make people bow down to them. What I was reflecting on that. What made those white women pay to go to that and be degraded like that? What a mess. Okay.
Elias bought a coffee. Jesse, how many blacks does it take to screw in a light bulb?
100,000.
And he doesn't answer. 100,000. Nice.
I never, in growing up and then knowing how the blacks were when I was growing up and independent, and they didn't have leaders, and they were Republicans, not because someone had told them to be a Republican, but because the Democratic Party didn't allow blacks to be a part of their party, so they started a Republican Party. And they were so independent and thinking for themselves and family-oriented and working and teaching the children to work and letting you know as a kid you're out of there, especially the males, you're out of the house at 18, and they prepared you for it by making you work. I never imagined that one day all that would be gone for the most part, exception to the rule, and the black would be so not thinking for themselves and looking for someone to give them something. I just never knew it would go. I never knew it would go from that to this. It's mind blowing how that happened. But anyway, thank you.
And thank you, guys. That's all for now.
Amazing. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you, Hake.
Yep.
Let me go to Joseph, a first-time caller out of Arkansas, better known as Arkansas, according to Joel Friday. He black. Joseph, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse.
Hey, Joseph.
How are you doing this morning?
Amazing. All is well. Thank you.
Well, that's great. It's amazing to talk to you. I've listened for a long time, but finally got the courage to give you a call.
Right on.
I'm a retired military veteran. I served in Iraq 0405 when I was a young man, 18, 19 years old. And I'm not ashamed to say I kind of lost my way after my tour. Came home and didn't really do right by my family and stuff like that. But what it did for me as well is when I found you, because I was in church, but I wasn't it didn't feel like I was just having a preacher preach to me. I wasn't getting kicked in the butt and getting told, hey, you need to do this and live like this. And when I found you and other people as well, but you mostly, I realized how simple it was to be happy, how simple it was to forgive my father for things I thought, I don't know if necessarily my mother put this on me, but it was my mother that didn't have a good relationship with my father.
Yeah.
Not me.
That's right, man.
And so that made me realize, okay, I forgive him for that. And then also forgave myself for, the way I came home. And, and then I've been able to forgive my mom's still here. Thank God my dad's passed along, but my mom's still here and I'm able to love her more than I've ever loved her before. But I'm not saying I'm mama's boy, but, I just want to tell you, thank you, Jesse, because I don't know if you know how much of a impact you have on people, because I really didn't have any clue what to do. Even I was in the Bible, I was reading, I didn't understand. Now, like with your guidance and some other people's guidance as well, and I listen to everybody. I watch every show you do, Fallen State, Sunday Conversation, Rebuilding the Man, all that.
Right on.
And I don't want to go on and on and on. I just want to tell you from a country boy in Arkansas, I sure appreciate you, Jesse.
Right. You're welcome, man. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
Yes, sir, I am.
Stay with it, man. I'm telling you, as a witness, you're going to, you will be given a clear mind. You will be given wisdom and understanding. And that will cause you to overcome the world. And you will be in this world, but unaffected by the world. Meaning that evil people, because all people who are angry are evil, they won't be able to touch you. And then the evil mindset, the angry mindset you had would be taken away from you. And you would truly live on this earth in perfect peace. With all the hell going on around you, it will not affect you. It's crazy how that is.
I know, amen.
So stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
And one last thing I want to leave with you. You give me so much patience the way you handle Jason. you have a great day, Jesse.
Thank you, man. Stay with it. Amazing call. I wish you well.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
All right. Amazing. And to all the vets out there, just drop the anger. Work on you. Drop the anger. Do the silent prayer, forgive, and I'm telling you, because the only reason you have the mental issues you're having is because you've overreacted to what was happening in the military, which you had to go through over there. And I know it wasn't easy. I know it's not easy, but stop overreacting. Josh from Georgia has been waiting a long time. There's one line open, 888-775-3773. Josh, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Josh, how are you?
Doing fine, man.
Nice.
Doing fine. My brother went through that same thing with the restraining order and family court, and he didn't get his daughter either.
Yeah.
So, that's...
The men who go to court to fight for their children are doing it out of ego because they ain't going to be able to see the children. The fact that the woman would take one step to stop a man from seeing his child or children, that should tell you that this woman is evil. She doesn't love the children. She doesn't love me. She doesn't love herself. And they should not waste their money and time giving their money to the lawyer because that's all they're doing.
Yeah. And like $30,000, and we ain't seen my niece in like over 10 years.
Wow.
So,
that's an evil woman. And
that's common.
And the men say, well, I love my children. No, you don't. Not if you feel that kind of love for her that you got to waste all your money and time giving it to the lawyer, fighting with the devil, and the devil's still not going to let you see it. Even if you got 50% custody, she's going to make sure you don't see your child. And get away with it.
Right. And I grew up with both my parents, and I still... my dad still couldn't protect me from my mom.
Yeah.
They're still together,
That's
So
what I was
still
telling
think I'm
Mike.
there.
Even though if he
Yep.
was in the house, the woman's still going to screw the kids up if he doesn't stand
Yep.
between the kids and the woman to prevent it.
Right. Right.
What a mess!
Yeah, what a mess. Yeah. But yeah, I was calling for the biblical question, man.
What ties you to your parents? What ties you to your parents?
Yeah, it's the thoughts that tempt me to like judge and hate them really, really hard. And then there's also thoughts or the guilt that comes. I find myself feeling real guilty for judging them for their flaws. So it's like a vicious cycle of seeing, their flaws and judging them for it, and then feeling guilty, and then trying to be fake with them, like being overly nice and letting them take advantage of me because I'm believing that I'm wrong. I'm trying to not judge them.
What a mess! How do you feel
Yep.
about your parents now?
I see that they're just like me, and I don't really talk to them very much. I'm very distant from them. It works better that way because when I'm around them, I act. My mom wanted to treat me like a 5-year-old, and it's like they take advantage of me. And I just stay away from them.
And when she tried to treat you like a 5, do you correct her?
Yeah, I do. I tell her not to, and she just like, she don't listen. She's like, oh, whatever. She just.
And so now you just.
she said she was. I don't think she can help it. I don't think.
No, she
can help
can't. Satan
Yeah,
is
she cannot.
her God. She cannot help.
Right.
And so you stay away from him, you say?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I'm very, very distant.
All right. That's fine.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I appreciate you responding to the biblical question. I want to put my little 2 cents in on it, but I got to wait until Sunday.
All right. Sounds good, man.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it.
No problem. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Let me go to, that's a line open, 888-7753-773. Adrian out of New York. Adrian, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How are you today?
All is well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
You made it back home?
Yeah, wow. I didn't expect you to remember me. Yes,
He
I
black.
did. And I'm half black, too. So what I want to tell you was it was amazing. And I wish that I lived in California just so I can go to the Thursday night, the third Thursday of the month, and church on Sunday because it's so nice and refreshing and intimate in there. And I just really appreciated that.
Right on. Thursday night meeting was amazing, huh? With the women.
Yeah, it was. Yes. And man, I wish I could be there on Thursdays. So,
Amazing.
and it was amazing meeting your experts. I mean, like, seriously. And I just, I appreciate you so much. And I wanted to also say that for Sunday, when service was there, one of the ladies there, her name was Mimi. I wanted to shout out to Mimi.
Shout out, Mimi.
That she has amazing talking skills, and I just wanted to say I think she would be amazing in research, but that was it. And I'm sorry that not that I'm sorry, but I wish I had it each time that I was there, every time it ended, I never got to connect with her, but I guess that's okay. That's just the way it was supposed to be.
Right.
And can I just say, and I when I was out there in California, I meant to mention it. I went to the Ronald Reagan Museum,
Right.
and that was an amazing place. I cried. I was trying to find a bathroom in there. I cried so hard. And I recommend if anybody goes to visit California and you're in Simi Valley, go to the Ronald Reagan Museum. It is a wonderful place.
Yeah, I've gone there a couple of times too, and it is an amazing place. You're right about that.
I had no idea. Yeah, I was 10 years old when Ronald Reagan was, attempted assassination. So I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about Princess Diana at the time. But I didn't realize what an amazing person he was. And kind of reminds me of Ronald Reagan, Ronald Reagan, Donald Trump, the Great White Hope. But, the shamelessness in the devil is even fiercer than he was. Not that he wasn't fierce then, but it's some more things added to it, like complete brainwashing and just crazy. But so I recommend that place.
I do
really
too.
Quick,
It's an amazing place.
it's beautiful. I cried.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it. But
I
the other thing
cried over you. What
I
a
cried for a
fool
reason
I've
there, though.
been.
Still no thrill. Because it's just sad and to see what America and, But anyway, and the other thing was your biblical question about what ties you
To your
parents?
Yes.
So I had briefly spoke on this, I think, in the women's meeting, but I can't mention that. But I think some of the things that used to tie me to my parents was, I think that as human beings, when we're not spiritual, or maybe it is, we always want to belong to something. And why wouldn't you want to belong to the tribe of your parents? Because, I don't know, that's just the way it is. And before I forgave them, I wanted that sense of belonging because it felt like to me that it would bring peace, that I had a purpose. There was a reason I was born into this world, but I didn't get that because they were incapable. So there was a lot of destruction with that, and a lot of destruction to myself. And I think now that I've forgiven them, I don't have any need for, I don't really think I have a need for any tie to them. I know that they exist. I know they're there. My mom, it's not that I intentionally keep her at a distance, but it just is. That's just the way it is. But there's no more emotion behind it. And my father, well, I'm happy that my father's had to overcome a lot of things, but I also see where there's some things with his mother and my grandmother who raised me that he still hasn't dealt with. But aside from that, I like talking to my father, but I don't feel the need to, if he calls or I call, it's once in a blue moon thing. How you doing? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. But I no longer feel that sense of tie. So I think when we start to awaken and start to see who we are and who we truly belong to, which is God, we belong to Him, then we're never missing any sense of tribe or belonging because we already belong. We're already with Him. He's with us.
Amazing.
So there's no echoing of, I need to belong to this tribe. I need to belong to that tribe. You know what I mean?
I do.
So
I would want to
was it.
respond to the biblical question, but I can't. And I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday, but I appreciate you responding to it. And it was an honor meeting you at the church on fellowship on Sunday
Honor is
and
all mine.
at the women's forum.
Oh, and one more thing. You have some really nice toes.
Really nice toes.
Yes. Like, you don't have, for your age or anything, like, you have nice feet.
You know
I'm
why?
sorry, I was looking at your feet.
Ooh. Ooh. You know why? Because I grew up with, for some reason down in Alabama. I didn't like wearing shoes, and I would go barefoot all the time, right? Barefoot, and I wear shoes less as possible now. Most of the time I wear sandals. I put shoes on if I have to, And so they're always out in the fresh air and they're connected to the earth.
Well, you have nice feet. They're not all jacked up, I got to tell you.
Right on.
I was amazed about that. But anyway, I wish you all well. It was amazing meeting all the guys.
Right
and
on.
Hassan, I never really, and Joel, I've never seen them in person. All those guys are handsome and everything, but man, Hassan is so handsome.
Thank you for calling
so
and thanks for holding.
So is all of them.
How have you been
Hassan
helped by the
has
show?
a brightness that comes out of his face.
I gotta run. Thank you. Back in a
The
moment.
greatest black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters. It should be anyhow to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
Those Boeing 737 MAX 9S's are still grounded, but don't worry, Anchor Baby is heaven bound. And Kamala Harris wants all the useful idiots voting. Don't say that word, kids. There's mess going on with the commies and liberals. Same thing. An adoptive mother wants extra time off for her maternity leave, even though she's an adoptive mother. And other stuff. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is, as you know, Tuesday, the 23rd of January, AD 2024. Stay tuned for hour 3, last hour of Country and Western Tuesday. GLP will be right back to your calls. There is one line open. You can call in right now during Hake News, not fake news. Plain body parts are popping off. You heard about that. Call Me Nonsense Network says 171 Boeing 737 MAX 9 airplanes grounded in the United States as they undergo inspections for possible loose hardware. MAX 9 aircraft were pulled out of service more than 2 weeks ago following the failure of a door plug or a plug door, whatever that is, that detached and popped off, putting a gaping hole in the side of the fuselage or whatever that thing is supposed to be called, during an Alaska Airlines flight from the Pacific Northwest down to Ontario, California, I believe. What a mess. This week, the FAA recommended additional inspections of an earlier generation of the 737, the Boeing 737-900ER. Similar concerns with bolts that secure the door to the airframe. And more idiots voting means Democrats in charge. Let's all vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for. Lady, it's whom, for whom to vote. But please, in the midst of all you've got going on, take the time to fill out a ballot. That's a so-called Vice President cackling Kamala Harris said, calling on Americans, quote unquote, to recognize the high stakes of the 2024 presidential elections. Stakes many demon rats worry haven't registered with enough voters. And liberals and commies, the California State University system yesterday reached a tentative deal with the union representing thousands of professors, lecturers, and staff to raise wages. And what value are they bringing to these people that they should get wage raises? The agreement ended less than a day of the largest university faculty strike, within less than a day of that, in the United States history. Speaking of taking action, NYC Mayor Eric Adams, he black Democrat, announced the city is knocking out more than $2 billion in medical debt for up to 500,000 New Yorkers, leeches, in a program launching this year. An adoptive mother is abusing maternity leave, and she's not even the real mother. Spoiled Woman versus Kite Baby, KYTE Baby, I think is the name of this company. Over the weekend, the CEO of a baby clothing company apologized for denying an adoptive mother's request to work remotely while her adoptive baby was in the NICU, which is, I guess, natal ICU, which is intensive care unit. Marissa Hughes's premature baby boy, adoptive, right? I think, was being treated 9 hours away from the family's home. Kite Baby, the company, said they could only accommodate this Marissa Hughes woman for 2 weeks as part of their maternity leave policy. And she would be fired if she didn't return to work. Marissa Hughes shared her story, and the internet rallied behind her. Wow, exposing her business in front of the whole world. The CEO made the call on Marissa Hughes' request, said she was insensitive and selfish, and offered to continue paying Hughes as if she were working remotely while she takes time to be with her baby. What a mess. And the latest gossip, Senator Tim Scott alleged the ladies at the Skim got down on one knee for that white woman, so now he's engaged to her. But I don't know if he got on a knee or not. I don't know if he did or not. Jennifer Hudson and Common are talking about romance. Ugh. And India mess. Yesterday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated an unfinished temple for a Hindu so-called god, and he's accused of stirring religious tensions because Hindus and Muslims are contesting this holy site. They're fighting over it since the 90s and maybe before that. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
To stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
What the? Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. That's amazing. You can get involved by calling 888-7753, 773-888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. If you're out and about anywhere up and down or around the earth, all depending on what you believe, you can be listening to the show on your iPhone. You can podcast if you're not able to sit and watch it live. You can podcast and still be listening live by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. Follow us on social media. Like, ring the bell, do all that stuff. Y'all know what to do. JLP Talk on X and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. To donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Bond JLP Cash App, Bond JLP Cash App, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, and rebuildingtheman.com or rebuildingtheman.com. All right? My biblical question: what ties you to your parents? What ties, T-I-E-S, ties you to your parents? Isn't that an amazing question? I like that background up there, too. That little town. What ties you to your parents? And It's Tuesday, every Tuesday, first, second, and third hour, country and western Tuesday. Wait on. Can I hear waiting on God? Waiting on God, waiting on God. What's going on? Waiting on God, waiting on God. Country and Western Tuesday. That was new. I didn't see it. I'm like, what's going on here? Nice. Waiting on God, waiting on God. He's waiting on me. Amazing. Her son waiting on God. He can't hide. He waiting on God. Amazing. Her son, you can't hide. You waiting on God. Amazing. Let me go to, wow. Let me see if there's something I want to tell you first. One thing I do want to tell you is that, and if you didn't hear the first hour today, you should listen to it. They don't want you to think anymore. Not for yourself. Because a thinking person, a person who thinks for themselves, is a free person. You want to be free? Think for yourself. Become your own individual self. Really. And the last thing most human beings want to be is an individual. Insecure people always look for something or someone to identify with. The last thing they want to do is to be free. And I have to tell you, it ain't pretty. Anyone who cannot stand alone and be free, you're a coward. You're enslaved. You're never going to have perfect peace. This is one journey you must take alone. You'll see. Take charge of your own world. You are your world. But you got to take charge of your own world. No one is responsible for your world. Like I was telling Mike, if his wife committed suicide and his friend that committed suicide, that wasn't his fault at all, not one iota. Not one iota. And now in our country, they don't even want you to think for, they're telling you, hey, we want to think for you. Don't look, research anything, don't do nothing. Clyburn, worst nightmares that blacks would start thinking for themselves. They just might lead the Democratic platform or party plantation. And the earth, the people are wicked, human hearts are evil. Everyone that has anger cannot be trusted. Trust not an angry person. Your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your husband, your wife, your workers, your co-workers, your friends, the neighbors, the person at the market. Because an angry person is an evil person. They're up and down emotionally. They're evil. They're evil. And they want you to be evil. They want you to be angry. So you can fight with them and they can fight with you and control you. It's crazy. Things are going to get worse in the earth because the human heart is worse. But you can be free in the earth if your heart changes from hate, from anger to love. Here's an example of what is happening and what's going to even get worse due to anger. This is from Newsweek. A 51-year-old delivery driver was beaten to death. Oh, I want sound by 23A there. 23, that's okay. A 51-year-old Newsweek, a 51-year-old delivery driver was beaten to death by a naked man armed with firewood. According to police in Texas. Watch this.
New details from police this morning about the deadly beating of a delivery driver in Fort Worth. Police say 51-year-old Scott Jackson was taking wood to a customer Saturday when a naked man approached, accusing them of being on his property.
As we're loading up the wheelbarrow, this random guy shows up and gets directly in my face, confronts me, and accuses me of being on his property, being in his house. And he never wants to see us again.
They say they asked the naked man, later identified by police as Crescenta Samandi, to leave. That's when the 27-year-old grabbed a piece of firewood and hit Jackson in the head before turning toward the other man.
When he was pursuing me and attacking me, I was looking at death in the face.
He escaped and called 911.
He took somebody that I'll never be able to call, I'll never be able to see again.
She wants to forgive, she says. She's not there yet.
She must forgive to be free from that. The guy's black, the accuser. This is the purpose of black people on earth today. This is the media use them for this. The government uses them for this. The black so-called leadership uses the blacks for this. It's for this purpose. To bring hell upon this earth, to destroy, to rob, steal, and kill. But if the blacks were to become individual again, get away from the blackness, the group thinking, the blaming, and take responsibility once again like they did prior to the so-called civil rights movement, which was one of the worst things that ever happened to the blacks. If they were to become individuals again, the game would be over. And they would not be able to use the blacks for destruction or anything, really. And the blacks don't get along with anyone. They don't even get along with themselves, to be honest. They do not get along with themselves. They hate one another, and they hate themselves. And according to the report, the black man, that was somebody else's house. According to the report. The Daily Mail reported a race-fueled brawl erupted between blacks and Somalia students at a Minneapolis high school. It is claimed leading to the arrest of at least 2 adults accused of joining in. Watch this from Fox.
A fight between 2 groups of students inside St. Louis Park High School Thursday morning escalated into a parking lot brawl, leaving some with minor injuries and ending with 2 arrests. St. Louis Park police say 2 adult women heard about a fight earlier in the day and came to the school just after 3 in the afternoon. They became involved in a physical altercation with some students, but an officer that was already on site was able to quickly intervene. After the melee, they tried to escape in a car, but were arrested by police. A few students and staff members were left with minor scrapes and bruises. Police and the district will continue to investigate the incident and are trying to determine whether or not the fights were racially motivated.
Black excellence. That's excellence in black. They fighting with the Somalians. And the Somalians are black. Now, white people, are you still raising your hand saying that you're racist? To the blacks? Are you still raising your hands? Are you still raising your hands? It's going to get worse. There's no love. It's going to get worse. There's no love. A feeling of love is not love. A feeling of love is hate. A feeling of love is not love. A feeling of love is hate. And a feeling of hate is hate. They are both imposters. They are the same. Well, I guess Ohio is trying to do something about it. According to ColumbusCriminalAttorney.com, in 2022, Ohio enacted new concealed handgun laws. Ohio became the 23rd state to enact new concealed carry laws, allowing individuals to carry a concealed handgun without a permit. Watch this from NBC.
A new study just released is now unearthing if the Buckeye State's constitutional carry law impacted gun violence in cities. Remember, back on June 13th, the state began allowing citizens to carry a concealed weapon without a permit. The study looked at gun violence in the state's 8 largest cities. 6 saw less gun crimes after the law changed. The data spans from June 2021 to June 2023.
And one of those cities that saw a decrease was the city of Columbus. Before the law, the rate per 1,000 people of crimes was 10.79. It dropped to nearly 9.5%. Other cities that saw decreases are Cleveland, Toledo, Akron, Parma, and Canton.
It definitively says that constitutional carry did not create additional gun violence.
Amazing. Anyone that believes that to carry a weapon create violence, you're crazy and you believe in abortion. You believe in abortion. Why do you think the criminals carry guns, dummy? According to free.org, guns prevent an estimated 2.5 million crimes a year. Guns prevent an estimated 2.5 million crimes a year. Most often, the gun is never fired. Anyone that believes to carry a gun is not a good idea, you believe in abortion, killing the children in the womb. Killing the man's children in the womb. That's how crazy you are. That's how evil you are. It's going to get worse unless humans' hearts change from anger to love. Anger is evil. According to the Word, in the beginning, there was the Word was God, God was the Word. In the beginning, anyone that has anger cannot be trusted. Trust not an angry man or woman. Let me go quickly to the busy phone. We're going to get to as many calls this time as possible. Aaron is out of New Jersey. Aaron, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, how are you doing, Mr. Peterson? It's Aaron. Can you hear me okay?
All is well, Aaron. Loud and clear.
Thank you. Thank you for taking my call. How are you doing today?
All is well.
I wanted to see if you would be kind enough as to offer me some advice on something.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit in a situation currently with a relationship. We broke up a while ago, and not that long ago. I want to say like 4 months ago. And we broke up. We're not seeing each other all that kind of stuff. But backtrack 2 weeks, I started talking to her again. And, I'm going into it now with a little bit better of a mindset, so I'm not really pushing the boundaries too much this time around as I did when I first met her. To put it, politely for the show. But at the same time, I wanted to get your advice on this other thing. So I've been getting therapy also by a independent therapist. And
is it a man or a woman?
It's a man.
Okay, go ahead.
But I've had a little bit of an internal conflict about this specific therapist for a little bit now, because I've been getting advice from him and he knows a lot about me and blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't, I'm not feeling I'm not really feeling like I'm getting that much. And also on top of that, he is also gay. And I realized that when I met him in person. And I had an in-person appointment with him. And I was just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know, am I a bad person for, not really wanting to continue therapy with him after that? Or,
no, you're not bad.
What do you think about that?
No, you're not bad. Just don't judge him. Just don't judge him and move on with your life. That's all.
Yeah. I guess, that's when you put it like that, it makes, it sounds better, but I've just been kind of feeling bad about it for recently.
No, don't feel bad. Just don't judge him.
I don't even think I'm judging.
How old are you?
That's the thing. I'm 28, sir.
Oh, okay. No, just move on if you want to, man.
Got it. And yeah, he's been reaching out to me, trying to get in touch and all that, and talk about stuff. But I don't know. I just want to get your advice on that. I appreciate it. I've called in before. I'm a white guy, military. You wanted my opinion one time about how there's black people taking over the military and impacting whatnot and stuff like that.
But no, just move on. And if you don't want to, and tell him, let him know. Don't hide from him. You got to face things, right? So just let him know I've decided to go somewhere else for counseling. That's all. And you don't owe him an explanation or anything. Just say, you're a grown man, right? So just say, don't hide so you can stop hiding. If he call you, just say, I decided to move on to somewhere else.
That's what I'm worried about, though. I honestly get a little bit scared of that hiding thing, though. That's a tough thing for me.
But don't hide.
I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I will reach out to him. I will.
Just let him know I've decided to move on somewhere else. And if he asks why, just say, no reason, just move on. You don't owe an explanation or anything.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Peterson. I'll tell him that, and I'll reach out to him.
You're welcome, buddy. Amazing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a nice rest of the day.
You too. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Joe out of Phoenix, Arizona. Joe, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse.
Hey, Joe. How are you?
Doing just fine, thank you.
Nice.
I saw that you were interviewing Larry Elder. I always enjoy Larry Elder.
On the FatherState.tv last Friday.
Yeah, he says a lot of things that the ghetto blacks need to hear, and the matriarchy needs to be defeated. I was wondering, though, why you were both lying about Obama and the whole Dr. Gates incident when he was in office.
Dr. who?
Skip Gates, the Harvard professor, when he was trying to get into his house and the cops.
Oh, that little black guy that was apparently the cops went there because they thought somebody else was trying to enter into his house, and he started to say, they discriminated. He called them racist or something, and Obama said the cops acted stupidly.
That's not what he said.
What did he say?
He said, based on the early information, they may have acted stupidly.
I don't know if you put the may in there or not, but I know you said it.
Yeah.
So how is that a lie then?
Well, it's a lie because he didn't say they acted stupid. He said they may have.
How is that not the same thing? Obama didn't even know what the situation was at all. Why didn't he just either say nothing or have a wait and see?
That's the whole point of what he said. That's why he used the word may.
No, why he have to say the cop may, if you said may, I don't know if he did or not, but may act stupid. Why did he have to say anything? Because he knows that he and other blacks are always crying racism with everything because racism, they think, work for them.
Well, Obama did not cry racism. We'll disagree on that.
What do you mean?
He said something because he was asked a question about it. That's
if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon.
And he's probably right about that.
How is that?
Because they do look somewhat similar.
They don't look nothing.
Yeah, they do. Especially the ears. Yes, absolutely.
What?
Especially the ears. Absolutely, yes.
What? The ears?
The ears.
Are you serious?
Absolutely serious.
How you know what Trayvon is? He wore a hood.
You've seen plenty of pictures of Trayvon, Jesse.
He had on a hoodie. But everybody got ears that look like Obama ears.
No, we'll disagree on that. I mean, the point going back to Skip Gates.
So when Obama said, if I had a son, he looked like Trayvon, was he suggesting that it was because he was black?
He was saying that there was a similarity in appearance. That's it.
Was he suggesting that he was killed because he was black?
I didn't get that now.
Oh, you didn't get that? Yeah, you would miss that one.
Oh, yeah, I would, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, So going back to Skip Gates, what people tend to
Skip Gates is a loser.
Well, you can believe that if you want.
Is he like the janitor or something at Harvard?
Janitor.
Huh?
You're not gonna trigger me, Jesse.
What is he?
He's probably the janitor. No, I think he does that thing where you find out if you were a slave master or a slave.
Oh, Lord.
In your genealogy.
Lord have mercy.
What are you talking about?
Henry Louis Gates, right?
He hosts a TV show. Nothing to do with slaves and slave masters, though.
Yeah, all these movie stars find out that they had slave ancestors.
It's not just
or
about
slave master
or slave masters. It's going through the whole family tree. If you ever watch the show, it's a fascinating show.
Nice.
What's fascinating about it? Who want to find out?
All the headlines are about, this person found out he had a slave ancestor. Or a slave master ancestor. That's the only thing that makes the news.
You're just wrong about that. But
I have not seen it, don't want to see it, never heard of it, don't want to see it. Who want to know if they had slave masters or not? That's a dumb idea.
It's not about, that's not what the show is about, but go ahead and lie if you want, you guys.
I don't know what it's about. I haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But you said that he does DNA thing? Hake.
Yeah, well, genealogy or something.
Does he do it for free?
Genealogy, yeah.
He does it for free?
Show.
I don't know. He does it for a TV show. He doesn't do anything for free. I have the quote from Obama about the acted stupidly.
Let me hear.
There's no may in it. I don't know, not having been there and not seeing all the facts, that what role race played in that. But I think it's fair to say, number one, any of us would be pretty angry. Number two, that the Cambridge police acted stupidly in arresting somebody when there was already proof that they were in their own home, Obama said in response.
What are you reading from, Jay?
Politico.
So where you get the may from?
He said.
Where'd you get the he may act the stupid?
He said Gates, Obama allowed, is a friend, so I may be a little biased here. I don't know all the facts. So the only word may is when he said, I may be a little biased here.
No, wrong. I saw it live.
See that? Oh, my God. I knew it sounded like you had put that inserted may in there on your own.
You can't trust a word this man says.
You're the snake, James.
Okay, that's beside the point. That's irrelevant.
Because you're both liars and snakes. But anyway, go to YouTube.
I don't know. I
and
told you,
search
May, it didn't sound like May was in there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm an
told me. Oh,
octopus.
yeah. You're brilliant, Jeff.
Thank you, man. What's that?
You're welcome.
I'm an octopus,
Oh, hey, it's octopus.
not a snake.
Sea snake, maybe.
No, I'm actually, my nickname was James the Snake Hake when I was wrestling. It's my wrestling name.
So, Joe, why did you try to insert May when it wasn't said?
I didn't.
James just read it for you.
Politico was wrong. He said May.
Oh, but you said where you found May? Where did you see it at?
Go and look for yourself, James.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
and
of
look for
course. Go
yourself.
look for yourself.
Yep.
I did look for myself.
James
It's a direct
did look
quote.
for himself.
It's on YouTube. Go
Oh,
search right now.
Lord.
And see
It's
it.
on Google.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. You're an idiot, yeah.
Right.
Right.
Thank you, Joe. I got to take a break. More of your phone calls and super chats when I come back. Back in a moment. Check out my book, For Raised to Responsibility. I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother, who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone. And you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND. The treasure chest. The treasure chest is now open on D-Live. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time, and James Hake is on fire. The guy with the good hair. And after the James Hake, he black. Joel Friday TV. Monday to Thursdays now. Isn't that something? Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And after Joel Friday TV, the American Anchor Baby. Flying high on natural energy. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon. All right? This is from QuoteFancy.com, QuoteFancy.com. Henry Louis Gates Jr. once said, in America, there is institutional racism that we all inherited and participate in, like breathing the air in this room. And we have to become sensitive to it. What a liar. What a mess. Amazing. And Joe gonna call up. He said he may. And that ain't even in there. From Arizona. What a mess. Let me go quickly to Sean. a first-time caller out of Ohio. Sean, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, appreciate that. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Good deal. Hey, I hear you guys talking about a variety of different things, and I know what your topic is. But I do have a question. I just want to see what your thought is. I talked to quite a few people, and they don't really follow where I'm getting at, and I just wanted to see what you think about my question, and that is, the way society runs now, the women can date whomever they wish and have children with whomever they wish. But if you have, in the course of, let's say, 3 years, I'm going to give a scenario, 10 years, and in those 10 years, the woman will have children with 3 different men. And these are 3 different nations. I'm giving the example of a so-called black man, a white man, and let's say a Chinese man. Over the course of those 10 years, are those children brother and sister?
So, I'm sorry, shall I repeat that?
If a woman, through the course of 10 years, have relations with 3 different men, and these 3 different men are from 3 different nations, a white man or Caucasian man, let's say African man and a Chinese man.
Right.
He had children by those 3 men. But because those children came through one woman, does that make those children brother and sister?
Yes.
How so?
They have the same mother.
So the mother determines the pedigree?
No. I understand the point you're making, that because they came from different fathers, they are half brothers and sisters, not the whole deal, of course, but they would be considered on this earth half brothers and sisters.
I mean, where did that term come from, half? How could you be a half of something?
Well, you make a very good point, and I can't argue with your point, but, of course, the world made it up. The world made it up.
So if the world made it up,
yeah.
then it can't, it really can't be.
Yeah.
Because according to the Bible, and I like to think that you are someone who strive to go according to the Bible. The father, the seed comes from the man's scrotum.
Yeah.
And the woman is similar, her womb is similar to the soil. The same way you put an apple and an orange seed in the soil, it can only produce a tree that produces what you put in the ground. Because you put it in a certain ground here in the United States, and I take the same apple seed and put it over there in China in their soil, I'm still going to get the same result as to what I put in the ground.
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing. So if the Chinese man is not related, according to how we see it, because they're Chinese, they don't look like, let's say, African, their bloodline is different. So because you take seed from their scrotum into the woman to bring forth life, there's no way they can be related.
You make a lot of sense, man. I can't argue the point. It's clear. It makes sense.
Yeah, and I think it should be talked about because it's one of the things that, at least within the Western society, that it helps have women hold their head up and sleeping with multiple men, bringing forth children by these men and calling them family.
Yeah, yeah. Amazing. You're absolutely right.
And you'll find that in every nation that follows this Western society.
Yeah. One thing I realized, Sean, is that everything we've been taught from the world has been wrong. And we got to overcome that kind of teaching.
Well, I mean, I think it needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about it in such a way because I have brothers, and their father is not my father. But instead of me rocking the boat and saying, "Forget about you, you're not my brother," I go with the flow.
Yeah.
But at some point, the information has to get out there, and it has to be the society has to be informed, so they can recognize it and we can get out of this situation. I don't really think it's going to happen. I think a nuke has to drop in order for them to correct the situation.
Yeah. Well, maybe this is the beginning of the discussion.
Of course. But hey, that's all I wanted to talk to you about. Maybe at some point you'll look into it, and maybe it'll be a topic of discussion for one of your programs.
Thank you,
because
man.
it must be talked about.
I appreciate that, Sean. It's definitely food for thought, for sure. Thank you.
Hey, appreciate you taking the call once again.
All right, buddy. Amazing. 888-7753-773. Super chat.
Super chats.
Latin Patriot 2020 says, shout out to Rome 13.5, Matthew, Evgeny Crosby, Mr. J, and all the YouTube chat from Latin A, as opposed to Latin X in Cali. Thank you, Latin A. And Latin Patriot 2020 also says,
Thank
Jesse,
you.
These are Rumble rants. I'm a big fan, and I even use your face. LOL. Lots of laughs from Latin A in Cali.
Amazing. Thank you.
Over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, Sion bought a super chat coffee. You still my other boo? Jesse love heart emoji.
Sion. Well, I got 2 lovers and I ain't ashamed. 2 lovers and I love them both the same. 2 lovers and I ain't ashamed. Amazing. Thank you, CI. CI has 2 lovers.
That's a catchy, degenerate black oldie song.
Yeah.
I think it's
but
black.
goodie. Yeah.
Gotta be black. Preston bought 5 coffees. I've been reading the Bible, and what books do you recommend for reading and learning what you teach? Thank you, Jesse.
You can't learn it. You have to be aware of yourself. They're not you. Watch the thoughts and be aware. Stay present. And the Spirit of the Father will teach you all things. All right? It's not something you can learn. You don't want to learn it. You want to discover it, know it. And it's all inside of you. You can't learn it. Thank you.
But you can read Genesis and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, you can read the Bible. I'm not saying don't read the Bible.
Yeah.
I thought he meant like what other books would I recommend?
Oh, I assumed that it was books within the Bible, but it doesn't actually say books in the Bible.
Right.
He's just reading the Bible.
That's what you get when you assume.
Well, are you assuming that?
Stop assuming.
But were you?
You assuming.
Don't say that so much. Did you presume that he meant not within the Bible?
Right.
Well, why would you
I didn't
presume
presume
that?
it because he said, "What books would you recommend?"
Right.
To learn what I talk about.
It could be books in the Bible. Anyway, moving forward.
I read the Bible. What Bible do I read? Which Bible?
The New Jerusalem Bible.
I read the New Jerusalem Bible. It's easy to read and it makes sense, and the language is not all squabbly.
Yeah, he didn't ask version. He just meant books within the Bible, like Genesis.
But he didn't say books within the Bible.
Yeah, he may not have meant that, but we don't know if he meant it or not.
Be clear, but let's say if you're asking me to refer other books to you about what we talk about, it's not in the book, it's in you. And if you're asking about the Bible...
Let me stop the confusion.
Yeah.
No Fear, Just Faith bought a coffee. Thank you, Preston.
Thank you.
For your 5 coffees.
Yeah.
No Fear, Just Faith. Shout out to my favorite caller, Ronnie from Cincinnati, Ohio. My answer to the biblical question.
What ties you to your parents?
Nothing attaches me to my parents because I have truly forgiven. God has turned my anger into compassion. God has set me free from feeling any guilt or feelings of obligation toward my parents. My only obligation is to do God's will each and every day.
So nothing ties him to his parents?
Right, nothing.
Thank you for responding to the biblical question. I appreciate it. I'll do mine on Sunday if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise.
MAGA Caga bought 3 coffees. Keep America great again, I guess. The firmament is page 1 of the Bible. Page 1, verse 6. Amazing. Double heart emojis.
Thank you. Was it a globe?
No, it says the firmament, which means the atmosphere.
So why
the air.
why do the flat earthers think it meant a globe?
No, they think it means a dome. A dome over the flat Earth, so they think.
They think the firmament meant a dome? Where did they get that idea from?
I think it mentions dome. For our purposes, it looks like a dome because we don't see the whole globe.
What?
It looks like a dome.
We don't see the globe at all.
Right. We see a portion of it.
But we don't see a dome.
It looks like a dome.
What looks like a dome?
The sky.
When you're up there.
When you look above.
Oh, yeah. When you're flying and you look out the window, it looked like a dome.
Yep.
So, but it looked round.
Right. Obvious globe.
It doesn't look flat.
Of course.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Someone bought a coffee. Howdy, Jesse, about the last biblical question. Isn't saying you have confidence just like saying you believe in yourself? Referring to, do you have confidence? Last week's biblical question.
It does. You're right about that. Amazing. Thank you.
Also, are we on top or the bottom of the flat earth? Happy Country and Western Tuesday. Cowboy emoji, coffee emoji.
That's a good question. Flat earth, are you on top of it or underneath it? Thank you.
Lamps bought 3 coffees. Stop calling me evil and the devil. I have no anger. As a supporter of this network, I would appreciate not being called evil and the devil. I have no anger or feeling or thoughts.
Thank you. Amazing. I appreciate it.
Wasn't aware that JLP mentioned your name, Lamps.
Who is Lamps?
I can only presume a woman.
And she has anger?
She says that she has none. But maybe I'm presuming.
Oh, okay.
I want to say that so I don't have to say assume.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe she's thinking that since you mentioned that women are evil, that
Right.
she's thinking that you're saying that she's evil.
If they have anger, if she has anger, she's evil.
Right.
But if you overcome anger, you're not of evil.
Nice.
Thank you.
Beta Know More bought a coffee. Jesse, I play your podcast show out loud at home. My 8-year-old son is starting to have questions. I'm working on him and letting him know his emotions isn't him. When he acts out, I ask him, who is this? Who is controlling you right now? And he snaps out of it. It's amazing. The other day, we watched a children's movie, and when the boy cried, my son said, beta male. It was so funny.
That's nice. Amazing.
Evgeny Crosby with a couple of diamonds. Nikki Haley got hot sauce in her purse and don't feel no ways tarred.
She feel like going on. What a wicked, nasty female wicked Nikki Haley is. Oh, my God. There's a lot of things we need as president of this great nation. Amazing. Thank you.
Indeed. An adult human male donated a diamond for the biblical question answer.
What ties you to your parents?
Unconditional love. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you. I appreciate the response. Put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you.
Greenwald gave a diamond. Janitors are more productive than half the faculty.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
More valuable labor.
Thank you.
Henry Ford lives with a couple of diamonds. The tunnels overflow with rats, snakes, too.
Amazing.
He also says, without Zod, but maybe not Zod, but Zod. I don't know if I can say this word. We could all live prosperous lives.
Amazing.
Yeah, because he doesn't want these unchristian people in the government hindering our prosperous lives.
Well, the Christians better vote and vote in men that's gonna I know that's gonna work for you and not against you. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Henry Ford lives as always. Ramel in the loop bought a coffee. Joelle, never listen to the woman. ! They never give the full story, just what they feel. Jesse told Amazing Asia to leave that man alone, and that was the proper answer. I know you got to see this for yourself, so I don't hold it against you. Just some advice. ...
Every time you listen to the woman, you will suffer. Amazing. Thank you.
John bought 5 coffees. Hake the snake. Snake emoji. Wrestling emojis. Nangiti bought a coffee. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Nangiti's answering the biblical question.
What ties you to your parents?
Me thinking I need to make them proud, quote unquote. Each time we get together, they tell me, you're in your 30s now. You should be successful. They come up with examples of my siblings doing so great in their careers or school. I started seeing this, and it's a total setup because I'm doing fine, doing what I'm doing.
That's right. Next time they say that, give them the finger.
They're a Cherokee.
That's right. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Nangiti. And thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Let me go quickly to William out of Missouri. Let's see here. William, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, Jesse.
Hey, William.
All right. I was calling to ask you, I often hear you say that the civil rights is the worst thing that ever happened to black people.
Other than abortion.
You're right. Can you tell me what part of the civil rights movement you disagree with? Or is it all of it?
The whole thing. And
the whole thing.
Yeah, they especially when they set themselves up, Martin Luther King, Jesse Jackson, all those people set themselves up as leaders of the blacks. And when they sold them over to the Democratic Party, and ever since then, all you ever hear from the blacks, and not all, but most, is racism, this, racism, that. And they doing it for a profit gain, not because they really believe that racism exists.
So can you give me some examples of civil rights?
No such thing.
No such thing, civil rights?
No.
Okay, so you think it's bad to have the right of privacy? You think it's wrong to have freedom of religion, freedom of speech?
It's neither right nor wrong.
Right to vote?
It's neither right nor wrong.
Right to a fair trial?
A
right to public facilities?
William,
you think that's bad?
It's neither right nor wrong.
What do you mean it's not right or wrong?
It's not neither right nor wrong.
That's an example of your civil rights. Because here's one thing about it. Your civil rights, you use it every day.
That's not a civil right.
Oh, it isn't?
No. And what is that? Which civil right?
What do you mean it's not a civil right?
Which civil right I use every day?
Right, freedom of speech.
But that's from God. That's not from civil.
Freedom of speech.
That's from God.
Well, God is not the one that's going to sue you if you say the wrong thing about people.
That's from God.
You can get sued for saying the wrong thing, but freedom of speech stops you from being sued for a lot of things that you say.
But that's still not civil rights, though.
It is civil rights.
No, it's not civil rights. No such thing. Why do are you black, William?
Are you black?
No, I want to ask you.
Yes, I'm black. Are you black? I know you want to be white, but are you black?
As the ace of spades, black on the outside, white on the inside. But why do you need white people to give you civil rights?
What you mean? I don't need white people to give me anything.
Yes, you do.
No, I do not.
If you didn't need it, why you agree with that mess, that false idea of civil rights that came from the white people? The white people gave it to the blacks.
Wait a minute. If you didn't need it, why do you use it?
Didn't the white people give it to the blacks?
I said if you didn't use it, if you didn't need it, why do you use it?
It doesn't exist. I don't use it.
And if it doesn't exist, you saying it doesn't exist, then you need to refund. You need to refund that gym you was in, Economics gym. You need to refund them their $200,000 back because you filed a civil rights suit in 2018.
What's $200,000?
In 2018, you filed a civil rights suit for $200,000. So you need to give it back to them.
Where you get that?
Was phony what you did.
Where you get that from?
That was phony what you did.
Where you get that from?
What you mean, where did I get it from? It's out there.
Where did you get the $200,000 from?
Is it true or false?
William, where'd you get
$200,000? Is it true or false?
It's true that there was a lawsuit, but where'd you get $200,000 from?
What was the lawsuit?
No, you just put out false information. Where'd you get $200,000?
You putting out false information.
William.
What was the lawsuit about?
William. Where'd you get... I'm going to ask you one other question. One more time. Where'd you get $200,000 from?
Where did I get it from?
Yeah.
That's what you said.
I didn't tell you. That's a lie. I never said that.
You didn't?
No. So you're lying.
I'm lying?
Yeah.
I have it right here, Jesse.
Okay, read where I said 200,000.
That's what your lawyer said that you got. That's what you filed.
Where you reading that
for
from?
$200,000.
Where you getting that information from, William?
Right from Newsmax.
You got from Newsmax that my lawyer
right
said.
Out of the court. Out of your court.
William, you got
right
from William, you got from Newsmax that my lawyer said I got $200,000.
That's right.
What's the date on that so we can look it up?
The date? Go to October 10th, 2018.
And it said I got
October 10th, 2018, Jesse Lee Peterson filed a civil rights suit and requesting $200,000 and an apology and that the manager be fired.
That's from law.
I'm telling the truth.
That's from Word Net Daily? That's from, you said Word Net Daily? Or Newsmax?
You don't see it?
We're still looking. But anyway, it's not. I didn't disclose what it was because we're not allowed to. That's part of the deal. But you don't know what you're talking about.
You
don't know what you're talking about. You made that up.
You asked for.
No, I didn't.
Your suit was for $200,000.
No, I didn't, man.
You might have got more.
You're trying to find out information that I'm not going to. You're trying to find out. Man. No, what do you believe there is civil rights? There's no civil rights. You're up there lying. You're up there lying. I got to run though, William. Thank you for a fun call.
Come on, man.
The hate report coming up next. The decision was not revealed. We were told not to. That was part of the agreement. William lying. I'm out of time. The hate report coming up now. Get on that straight and narrow and stay there. Derek from Georgia, oh my mind. Jason from Canada. Scotty, a first-time caller from South Carolina. Scotty said, I got full custody of my daughter. Ooh, I would love to hear about that. If you can, Scotty, call me again about that. I want to hear about you getting full custody of your daughter. Thank you all for your super chats and your support. I'll be back tomorrow, Manhood Hour, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Have a good day. William making up all that mess. I call him Joe because Joe called in with a lie. No. Have a good one, folks. Thank y'all.
Igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never want to stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understand in the loop. You better go talk to your mama, better stop at the drama, better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and cause if we don't, then we lose, and then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it. And then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true, it's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father.